Here are 7 NBA players with horrible tattoos. Part 2. My name is Josh, your Enviers, only talking about NBA players who have played this season. If you want me to talk about past tense players or good tattoos, I'll be more than happy to do so in the future. But for now, let's get started first talking about the man with the worst barber in the league, Jordan Clarkson, with now some of the worst tattoos in the league. A lot of comments said to talk about him in my last video, which I completely forgot about him because he plays for the LeBron James-less Cleveland Cavaliers, and something snapped for Clarkson this offseason because he was pretty much bare skin, no ink on him whatsoever his prior years with the Lakers. Maybe it's the curse of playing in Cleveland. He's just bored out of his mind, so he had to get a bunch of tattoos. But it was pretty noticeable and shocking for a lot of NBA fans when they noticed him inked up, especially on the neck. It was just 2 big roses in the middle of his neck. Now he has it more filled out. He has it wrapped all the way around his neck, which is even more crazy. You wouldn't expect Clarkson to be the type of player to do that. His sleeves obviously don't look finished yet. A bunch of odd placements, a bunch of gaps, a bunch of faces, and that's in my opinion, the most deadliest tattoo sin is getting someone's face tatted on, because it's gonna look horrible in a few years. He has Chad Butler tattooed on his leg for some reason, who knows? By far his worst tattoo being on his right shoulder, the picture of the woman. Just not the best looking tattoo. My goodness. Millions of dollars and you get this one. I know all of his tattoos probably mean something to him, and I'm not disrespecting the meaning behind the tattoo. I feel like a lot of people got that twisted in my last one. I'm just saying, artistically, that tattoo looks horrible. Clarkson really spent all of his VC on tattoos instead of his attributes. From one former Laker to another, let's talk about DeAngelo Russell. Coming into the 2015 NBA draft, DeAngelo Russell was by far my favorite player going to the league. He wore number 0 in Ohio State because that's how many people could guard him. And it's amazing to see what he's been able to do with the Brooklyn Nets today. With Ohio State, however, he had hardly any visible tattoos. He had a chest tattoo and a leg tattoo, both extremely horrible considering they were some of his first tattoos. The chest tattoo, I can't even read what that says. And the leg tattoo being a pair of Air Jordans. D'Lo saved his money, it looks like. Waited until we got to the league to get inked up completely. He has some good ones, some bad ones. I mean, he has a kneecap tattoo, an Illuminati eye tattoo, an Illuminati Louisville tattoo, an Illuminati bunny tattoo. Bro, D'Lo, we gotta talk about the one eye thing and the triangles that you got tattooed over your body. But by far his most intriguing one to me that looks a mess out of his newer tattoos is on his right shoulder. It looks like he has cursive text, and then over the cursive text he has some Asian language that he can't read covering that cursive text. This seems to be a Laker themed episode so far, so let's talk about Kuzma. I know he did a GQ video talking about certain tattoos. Thanks for all the comments last episode on how GQ is a thing and they already have a series talking about tattoos, but only 35 videos in, they only have 3 of them talking about NBA players, and since my channel is surrounded in NBA, that's not enough. I'm gonna try my best not to talk about too much of the tattoos that he covered in that GQ video. You could just search it up on YouTube if you want to go watch it. But one I will touch upon is a tattoo of his peace sign that he said he needs to finish up. But right now, this is an awful outline. What I notice is a lot of these NBA players just get random tattoos of things they enjoy rather than trying to make their artwork a cohesive story. 2 kind of cringe tattoos that he has is on his left and right shoulder, the left one being the 100 emoji. Kuzma's definitely taking a page out of Mike Scott's handbook of getting emojis tatted on him. And on the right side, Kuzmania. Now, this seems cool and all because he plays for the Los Angeles Lakers, but with the Lakers struggling and the trade rumors for Anthony Davis this season at trade deadline, and who knows what's going to happen with the Lakers in the offseason, that tattoo might not be so hot if he gets traded for an all-star for LeBron James to be paired up with. But it's cool for now. It's a souvenir, I guess, to say, hey, I played for LA once upon a time. Next up, let's talk about John Wall, who, just like Jordan Clarkson, his first few seasons in the league had absolutely no ink on him. And John Wall even came out and said he takes pride in being one of the few guys without any ink. That mindset obviously changed when he got a max contract. Now, his chest piece, I personally really like that. Like I was saying with Kuzma, a lot of the NBA players don't have cohesive stories told in their tattoos. They just have a bunch of things that they like. John Wall's chest piece looks really solid. But we're not here to talk about good tattoos today. We're here to talk about bad ones. And although John Wall has some good ones, he has some odd ones, like the number 5 tattooed on his armpit. That's weird. That's also apparently super painful to get that tattooed on your armpit. Very obscure placement and tattoo to get tatted on you. Originally, I thought this tattoo was like a tribute piece to the little girl who died of cancer that he was really connected to, but she was 6 years old. But after digging for some more information, I found out that the 5 stands for 5 Deep, which is his friends group's nickname. You can't really mess up a 5 tattoo, and it's not necessarily a bad tattoo. It's just weird placement, and I guess it brings some of the uniqueness to John Wall. And by far, John Wall's worst tattoo is the Great Wall tatted on his back. It's a bunch of bricks and Great Wall tatted in like some type of graffiti font. Like, I don't know if it's the artist's fault or if it's John Wall for thinking this was a good idea to get that design tatted on him. Moving on to his former teammate, Marcin Gortat. A lot of you guys mentioned to mention him in the future video. So here we are talking about his horrible designed Jordan logo tatted on his leg. This tattoo is really something you would see on like a 40-year-old playing at the local gym on his shoulder or something. That's what this reminds me of. In fact, I actually feel like I've seen something similar to this on somebody in real life. His other tattoos artistically aren't that good either. The one on his chest, the man with the boxing gloves, I don't know what that means to him, but it's definitely not done well. And then the little goblin ripping out of his shoulder, that was recently covered up to become a hammer to match his nickname, the Polish Hammer. I think Marcin Gortat only has 3 tattoos, and all of them not that great. Moving on, let's talk about Dwight Howard. There seems to be a theme in this video. Players without tattoos for the longest time end up getting tattoos and they don't look that good. John Wall being one of the only decent ones that comes to mind. Dwight Howard, not so much. This season he got tatted up like crazy after years without having tattoos. Just like John Wall, he apparently took pride in not having any tattoos. Now he has a horrible looking owl tatted on his chest. On his stomach he has, it looks like a Godzilla or something, a rampage monkey. While his left shoulder seems to be the best designed tattoos that he has, but for some reason it's just a bunch of lions. What do these lions mean to you, Dwight? While his right shoulder is dedicated to animals and seems like Africa on the little bottom, his left is dedicated to some Egyptian stuff. He has the Egyptian eye, some Egyptian lettering. I don't know if Dwight is Egyptian. Pretty weird tattoos. And on his forearm, I think I see the tattoo that Kyrie Irving has, the little hand with the eye. Apparently that means happiness, but in this case it looks like Dwight Howard's tattoo is upside down, unlike Kyrie's that is flipped. I don't know what flipping the tattoo upside down means, but if it's happiness is up, does down mean sadness? Dwight, are you okay? Talk to me, buddy. Last but not least, Wilson Chandler. Like J.R. Smith, he has way too many tattoos to talk about in one video. I actually like some of his tattoos that we'll probably talk about in a future video. His neck tattoo being the most obvious standout tattoo that he has. He's had this for years, and I don't know if it's just a bad tattoo or if that he's had it so long it's starting to look a little deformed and pretty scary. He also has some noticeable left arm tattoos. There's this horribly drawn outline of a basketball player and these like green circles around it. Too many to talk about for Wilson Chandler, but I must applaud Wilson Chandler. He has face tattoos. This is one constant that I always wondered to myself, how come there isn't a little skies of the NBA that just goes crazy and gets a bunch of face tattoos? And although Wilson Chandler's face tattoos are very small, he still has some face tattoos. So shout out Wilson Chandler for being a real one. Maybe in a couple years, all the people growing up listening to Lil Uzi, Lil Skies, all the 6ix9ines, maybe we'll see some NBA players with face tattoos like them. So those are 7 NBA players with horrible tattoos. Let me know in the comment section below, what players did I miss? Mind you, I may have talked about those said players that I missed in the first part of this series. So go check out that video. The video is on screen for you to click. Leave a like, share it around, subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.